A world ravaged by chaos, where people are tearing each other apart over profit and power, where the working class become mindless husks forced to carry out what they're told, where addiction is the only escape from reality. What is a man supposed to do?
Probably stop talking about the real world and play some Bioshock. When Bioshock came out, it hardened everyone's nips. Everyone was so enthralled with the world of Rapture. Did I play it then? Nah! These were the sort of games I was playing.
Out of my way, chump!
Over a decade has passed since its release, and now it's finally time for me to see if this game is worth playing. In Bioshock, you are but a silent man whose plane has crashed near a single lighthouse. But once you enter, like the seemingly unimportant character you inhabit, not everything is as it seems. Rapture was a once utopia for anyone wanting to start a new life and create without restrictions. Though it looks stunning, once you're inside there's a very different picture that's painted. Blood and bodies litter Rapture, and the ones still alive are driven to madness from the plasmids they're addicted to. All you have in this foreboding place is a wrench and a man who goes by Atlas to help you out. The game immediately hits you with its rich atmosphere. Everything seems dark and dangerous. Bioshock doesn't hit you with jump scares most of the time. Oh fuck! The game instead goes for a creepy vibe that only gets more unsettling the deeper you look. Rapture is an uncomfortable place, showing what happens when people are allowed to do what they please. Early on, for example, you've got Dr. Steinman, a well-respected plastic surgeon who came to Rapture to hone his craft. However, with no restrictions, he started doing whatever he wanted to the patients, leaving them scarred and disfigured. Most of this info is found in the audio diaries, though why the hell they record everything they say I do not know. Hell, if I ended up recording everything I said, Twitter will probably have me cancelled. The audio diaries are great to get lore without the game stopping for forced exposition dumps. I've never in a game stopped what I'm doing to delve deep into the lore. Okay, apart from you. But the lore of Rapture is so interesting and well thought out, which is really impressive for a first game in the series. The attention to detail is one of Bioshock's biggest strengths. All of the levels are huge and thought out. They feel like actual lived-in places. Anywhere in the level can be accessed with a bit of thought. There are no invisible walls or locked doors with nothing behind them. Bioshock rejects the linear corridors of a lot of other shooters. Every room has detail, with a story to tell. To an uninterested player, this might just be random corpses on a bed, but listening to the audio diary, you can piece together that this is a couple who have committed suicide after their daughter has been taken away from them. This can be completely ignored by the player, and that's the beauty of Bioshock. The amount of story you take in is dictated by the player. There's a lot of choice in how the player deals with the combat encounters as well. I hope you're not afraid of needles, because there is a lot of this. These are plasmids, powers that you use from shock, to fire, to even bees.
Oh, no, not the bees! Not the bees!
There are more plasmids than you can equip, so there's strategy in which ones to use. I, however, could not stop giving them the good old 1-2 punch. Hypnotise Big Daddy is basically an instant win, using a Big Daddy to fight for you whilst you just let him do all the work. Telekinesis is also a favourite of mine. If it isn't bolted down, you could use it as a weapon. How the plasmids react to the environment greatly impacts immersion. If there's some snow, I'm going to try and melt it. Oh, it works. Oh, I can't get that key card. Oh yeah, I've got telekinesis. Not only that, but plasmids are also a big part of the lore as well, and are even advertised around Rapture. One of Rapture's most immersive qualities is that everything has a real-world explanation, from respawning, to plasmids, to even hacking.
It has been brought to my attention that some citizens have discovered ways to hack the vending machines.
You can hack many things like security cameras, turrets, and vending machines, which means you're going to see a lot of this. Yeah, nobody likes this. I know I could just, not, but who doesn't want turrets fighting for them? The issue isn't that it's too challenging, it's just how goddamn repetitive it is. I think repetitiveness is my only main grievance with the combat. It's fun, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't really change hours into the game, apart from one segment later which, oh don't you worry, we'll get to. And I don't really feel like the weapons change up the combat. The weapons are what you expect, pistol, shotgun, machine gun, all with different ammo types. Or you could just do what I did and buff the fuck out of the wrench, and all enemies go down like this.
Double kill. Triple kill. Overkill.
I think the only time the combat truly shines is when dealing with the big daddies. The big daddies are men forced into diving suits, psychologically conditioned to protect the little sisters, small girls that have to harvest Adam from corpses. If you kill a big daddy, you can approach little sister and either save them, or, if you're an absolute psychopath, you can harvest these little girls and kill them. Oh god, how do they look more horrifying?
I'm looking for the ugly sister.
You saved me.
Also, side note, why do they all look the same? Either some game devs are getting lazy or one absolute legend is just banging broads left and right. And if that's the case, I'm just jealous. The big daddies are pretty tough.
And his name is John Cena.
But they're so much fun to fight. You literally have to use everything in your arsenal just to take them out. They're so much more satisfying than the other bosses in the game, who are basically just splicers. Well, apart from the final boss, which, yeah, we'll get to that one. I absolutely love the design of the big daddies. They're the most iconic imagery of the series for a reason, and them, along with the little sisters, have some of the most interesting lore in the entire series. Speaking of lore, I'm finally getting into the story, so if you don't want to get spoiled, would you kindly skip to the end of the video? There are a few games that marry gameplay and story so naturally. The creators of Bioshock worked to do away with any cliches of FPSs at the time. When the game starts, you're portrayed as an everyman, just a random guy who is at the wrong place at the wrong time. Think Doom Guy, or a protagonist of any Bethesda game. Of course, this is a lie for the game's biggest twist. You are one of the most important characters in the story, with an origin, a name, and a purpose. This twist is foreshadowed a lot. Hell, you find the corpse of your own mother without realising. Then you end up going up to your own dad and doing your best Abby impression. The phrase "would you kindly" being a trigger for Jack Ryan made so much sense upon a second playthrough. There's a part when you ask to kindly deactivate the bomb that's going to go off in Rapture. There isn't a cutscene where you deactivate the bomb. Instead, the player has to do what he's told, otherwise the game doesn't continue. This is an interesting commentary on the go there, do that characters of FPS games at the time. There is one cliche in the game that does not work, however. Let me ask, what's your favourite type of mission in the game? Now, if you said escort mission, you need to be taken out to a lake, told to look at the rabbits, and get shot. This escort mission is lame. I spent a lot of time just standing around doing nothing, as she walks so damn slow.
Don't be a slowpoke, Mr. B.
Shut up, your parents are dead. The game has such a strong start, and though it doesn't ruin the experience, I think it dips in quality towards the end. You have a big boss fight against a roided up dick called Fontaine. Not only was it way too easy, even on hard difficulty, but it was the only part of the game that felt very video gamey. I ask you a simple question. Did this game need a final boss fight? Now let's look back at the iconic scene with Andrew Ryan. Would it have been as impactful if he was saying the same line of dialogue during a boss fight? No, it wouldn't. Obviously there had to be a final confrontation with Fontaine, but the final boss I don't think tonally fits the game. The game does have multiple endings, but they seem way too short. I would have liked to see more, as the good ending was very sweet. There are a lot of games that have imitated Bioshock over the years, but the question is, did the original do it best? Absolutely. Even editing the video, I'm itching to dive back into the world of Rapture. The game isn't perfect, but there isn't anything that tarnished the experience. I hope you check this game out if you haven't, and please check out my other videos, and let me know which video you want me to do next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.